Hi, I'm Jennifer. Hopefully you can see me. I know the center of the camera is over by Emily. This is an alteration for the Ariel Bra Cup. And what this is actually, I used swim spandex. And I used, basically, this is a really cool pattern. And I just did a little purple streak right here. I also changed this band to be a frameless, or basically kind of floating. And I do show in the next, well, you'll see right after this, how to alter your pattern to actually do that. I did a little front closure. And then on the back, oh, if I can see it, I did no hook and eye. I really just cut the back on the fold. Now, because this does place it fairly wide on the shoulder, some people don't like that. What you could do is, when you're doing this elastic, you could just make this strap a little bit longer, or even exactly what I did, because it looks like it's still pretty long. You could actually take and crisscross it in the back so it actually stays on the shoulders just a little bit better. And I could easily go back and do that because, well, not easily, but I could go back and do that.
Or you could just switch those to do it.
Well, not really, because I would have to take off the whole strap here. I have to undo that and then move it out of here, then go crisscross and then come back in here. So another thing is that with this pattern, this one actually uses, let me get this off, one of our molded bra cups. So I have these in 6 different sizes for 6 different colors. I have these cups in 6 different sizes, in black and in white. Now there is kind of not all sizes can utilize this. So in the instructions there is a little highlighted line that shows you which ones will actually fit and are designed to work with this cup itself. But of course, once you have a molded cup, you can kind of fake a little bit on how it fits, because even if it's a little bit bigger than you are, it's a little forgiving. So I'm not crazy about sewing swim spandex, so you'll see in the videos that I make a whole lot of mistakes because I really just don't like swim spandex. But I did this for my sister. She gets all these things I make for her. The idea is that one of these days she will model for me, so then I can have proper pictures on my website of all the pieces that I've made. So she has got quite a stash going on over here. She's got sports bras, she's got tanks, she's got, now this is the 4th bra I've made for her. So she is going to be darn lucky. Yep, and we already did that one. So enjoy watching, and thank you, and make sure that you like the video at the end. And if you do make something of the Ariel or use any of my supplies, please tag me in your Instagram post. I'm at Porcelynne Supplies. Thank you and enjoy watching. For this Ariel, we're actually going to use a swim fabric, and we're going to use the molded cups. We're going to be making a change to the pattern that will make the cups appear like they're floating. So they're really a frameless. We're going to use a closure in the front that will clip, and then we're going to make a solid piece in the back. We're going to be using the recommended wire. So if you look in here on page 4, not all of the cup sizes can actually work with the molded cups. The ones that will work with it are utilizing the wires in the cup sizes in this range, so from 5 to 10. And you'll see that 7 and 8 use the same wire, but it is a different cup size. Now this is because the shape of the cup actually changes kind of in the middle of the range. So the proportions are a little different. So this is one that's really designed for a smaller cup, and then when you get up to the larger cups, the proportion's a little bit different. And then the wire line is just a little bit different for those also. You also, in order to use the molded cup, you have to use the V4. Now you can probably play around with this, and if you do the molded cup and you measure at a V2, you can probably use this, but then you'd want to probably take it in on the band so it pulls a little bit tighter. It just means that the wire is going to be spread, is going to go a little bit further away from the breast, but it'll make the top of the cup fit a little bit better. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we need to adjust the band. We're going to start with the front. And what I did here was I actually turned off the other layers that weren't for this wire, so it made it easier to print. So Emily, can you go get me my 1-inch ruler and a pencil?
Is it the smallest one?
One of those rulers over there. And then one of my mechanical pencils.
So these?
Yep, one of those.
Mechanical pencils.
Okay. Yep, you stole my pencils, didn't you?
I keep at least
Yes, you
one.
keep stealing my pencils.
I keep
Okay.
at least one.
So we're going to make this so there is no band underneath. So the cup, we're basically going to have, the cup is, we can't change the molded cup on here, but we can change the pattern itself. So in order for the wire to sit, to basically fold back onto this, we're going to have to make the cup pattern bigger by the width of the casing, which is usually about 10 millimeters or 3/8 of an inch. But because we're going to make that bigger, we actually have to make the band wire line smaller. So I'm going to come in here and I'm actually going to go in and I'm just going to draw that change. So I'm just coming around here and marking at 3/8 of an inch all the way around the wire line. And can you go get me one of my miniature curves? The bigger one, I think.
This?
Yes, that one.
Okay.
So we will eventually cut this off, but in the meantime I'm just going to draw this in so it's a little bit easier to see what I'm doing.
Would it be easier to see if you had a different color?
What do you mean different color?
That's not clear.
No, this is fine. I can see it just fine. Commentary is provided by Emily, my daughter. Okay, so I just drew in, this is going to be the new wire line. And this is because the we're going to make the cup a little bit bigger so we can actually fold back in. So the wire line, the wire will still be at the correct wire place, but because the wire will be flipping inwards instead of outwards like a traditional band, that's going to be a little different. In order to alter the bridge to do a fabric piece in the middle, we need to do a couple evaluations. So this is actually the finished bra that I'm making. Don't look too close at my sewing. I really screwed up a lot, so I had to remove some stuff. But if you notice, I also was not able to do it all the way up to the top. And the reason is that there wasn't enough space for attaching the fabric and the hardware. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to draw in my 1/4 inch seam allowance at the top. And we're then going to look at the width, the total width of this hardware. So I'm going to do it from the holes, so from the kind of outside on this side, so over on this side but on the inside, all the way to this side. So inside there we have, looks like I have at 1/2 inch. So from the farthest side on the opening over here to the farthest side on the opening over here is 1/2 inch. And that's about 12.5 millimeters. So we have 1/2 inch, and we need to do about half of that, which is 1/4. So we need to allow 1/4 of an inch from this center line. So if I come in and I mark 1/4 of an inch from that center line, that is actually where that hardware is going to sit. So we removed some off the band here. That's to make this band frameless. And in my sewing it may end up coming a little bit too big, but I'm not exactly sure right this second. But we also we need to account for seam allowance. So I'm just going to come in and mark my 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, kind of just in this front little area, so we have like a better idea of where stuff is going to be sewn. So as you can see, I am not able to have any space for sewing all the way up at the top. So this is why I brought this down. So I estimated that I needed 3/8 of an inch to come down from that top, which was basically right where this is. So the minimum space would be 3/8 of an inch, and that would actually be a little bit closer. So I definitely was not able to get any closer like I probably should have here because the fabric itself is so thick. So I would actually want to come down to where maybe even just another 1/4 of an inch, and this is just kind of eyeballing it, figuring, okay, if we actually have this bridge attached right here, so I'll kind of take that all the way over here. This is where it's going to get attached, right at this point on the bridge. So now this is looking down. This is about 3/4 of an inch from, actually, take that back. Forget I've got my seam allowance in there. From my seam allowance down to my new line. Yeah, actually that was 3/4. Yep. I'm not quite awake, I guess. So from here down to here is about 3/4 of an inch. So what I probably should have done is I should have brought this down and put a pin and actually stitched this in at 3/4 of an inch. But I had a lot of issues with all the bulk that was in here. So I just kind of made it. It's for my sister, so, you know, it is what it is. She'll wear it or she won't. I'm not making this to sell for anyone, but you would definitely want to be a little bit more accurate than I was. Okay, so then you actually have to look at the opening for the strap. So as you can see here, this was pretty thick to get it through. This is one I have for sale on my website. This is one I may carry. I currently don't have it. I actually just have a bunch of samples, but I've been looking to try expand some swim stuff, and I think I'm going to get these ones also in a couple different sizes. This one is 25 millimeters, and this is about what, 12, about 13 millimeter opening, about. So it fits my 12 millimeter elastic. So it fits my 1/2 inch elastic. So like this. So now what we need to do is we need to know the size of the opening and come down. So we know that that is 1/2 inch. So I'm going to mark and square line straight across. That is 1/2 inch. And that would be for this one. So right now we're looking at our pattern piece right here. This is going to be the finished pattern piece, but it needs seam allowance on the top and basically on the top, yeah, because I just turned it over. No, actually I didn't. So we need seam allowance on both the top and the bottom for finishing. So we have that, and we have this. And we can just kind of chop this off at an angle. We don't need that. This is where we're going to be finishing the edges, and you'll see that when we get to the sewing steps. So my new pattern for this purple piece that I have in there for fabric would be from around here up to here, down to there, and across here. So that is my bridge pattern. Now, if you don't want to be that complicated and you don't want to deal with fabric at all because, hey, it's really thick. So this would be my pattern, and this would be on the fold. So this would be fold. And this piece, once it's on the fold, will actually be cut 4. So you have 2 pieces for the left side and 2 pieces for the right side. And that way we finish the edges. Now, alternatively, you can always use elastic. So what we can do is we can actually use this kind of as our gauge. Line that up to the edge. And of course, these scissors are not fabric scissors. We'll see how well they do. Yeah, obviously they're not fabric scissors. And that will be how you would insert it. So you could easily just use elastic and insert it in the correct place. So we're coming down 3/4 of an inch for that. So you don't necessarily need a full pattern, but it is good to understand what the shape is. So if we had done an inch, which was way too big for this small bra, this would just be a little bit bigger. So over here, well, we can have this really come anywhere we want. If we don't want to really change the back at all, if we don't want to change the back, we can just keep it kind of come anywhere. And this is really kind of an arbitrary place. I don't want a real sharp angle here. And then when we overlap here, so that's going to come in right about there. So normally it comes in like about that. We'll actually want to change, I can do this right now. We're just going to change front to back. So it has a little bit better of an angle. So we know that that comes to here. Okay, so now this is all gone. This is gone. And you're like, wait, you just changed a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so this one here, we're going to stabilize these parts. This is going to be a cut 4. This is going to be cut 2. But we're also going to stabilize that. So here, the back, well, now what we can do here is we can actually just make this fold. But you know what, I think on this one, actually it does not have seam allowance on it, so it should just be the fold. So cut that there, cut here, and this piece right here is designed for stretch. And so the little piece here for the strap, I'm actually going to take this over an angle. And this is just, really, it's an arbitrary amount, but I think I want my band to do this. Since this is going to be a much snugger, so it's going to be a little bit tighter on the body because we don't have that extra inch of the hook and eye, this is going to be extra tight. And maybe we should increase that a little bit. But this fabric is way stretchier than regular fabric. So we'll see how this goes. I don't think I need to make this adjustment, but you can always make the band and play around with it. And if for some reason it's too tight, cut it and add a hook and eye. Okay, now we need to look at our cups. So we have the V4 top cup. And we're going to get rid of that one. So this is not the right wire. So there's several different wires available in each size. Here's this one. Okay, so do you want to cut this one out?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wait, before we can do that, can you cut on my new lines?
What?
Can you cut on some new lines that I'm going to draw?
You just have to scribble out some lines.
Okay, so remember the other one we removed from when we need to add them back to this one. Okay. So those are going to come here. Okay, honey?
Okay.
And that's going to come out here. And then on the outside wire line, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add it over here.
But that one has a big curve.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
So this is definitely a lot more manipulation to the pattern, but this is what you can do for anyone that you actually want to have without the frame. Let's take that, trying to take that line straight from where it was so things go together well. Okay, so you think you got that? Or do I need to?
Yeah, do that and then scribble out some lines.
We don't need to scribble out some lines. Cut on the outside lines.
Outside, easy.
Mm-hmm, outside is easy, yep. Here, I'm just going to do over here.
I'm very good at cutting round bits.
Mm-hmm. And you took my paper scissors.
Yes, I did. Here you go.
Okay, go get another pair. Thank you.
I can get my pair. Which I like better.
I cut on the table so you're not cutting in the air. Okay, very good. Keep going. So I don't need these other pieces. Okay, so now we got to figure out which cup pieces are going to be which pattern. Which ones do you want, honey? Which one do you want purple, and which one do you want to have this one? Do you want to have this, the front, and maybe the bridge? And we also have the band.
I want that to be most of it.
Most of it, so you want this on the band?
Most.
Then maybe we'll do the little strip in the middle for that one. For this one.
Why that?
Okay, we'll do it for that one. Okay,
Yeah,
so
switch.
this one. And because I've got a pattern.
Yeah.
Could you grab me a pattern weight?
A pattern weight.
A pattern weight. Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can cut in.
Okay. And I kind of want to restrict it a little bit more, but I kind of like the stripes going this way.
Yeah, I like
So,
it that way.
I'm going to try and match the print perfectly.
That's perfect that you.
As perfect as I can get it.
That's
And
what
first,
I was
nope.
gonna say.
Okay, so I gotta move it a little bit further away.
But you also know that you can do that way.
Well, I know, honey, but I like the stripes this way.
Okay.
And it's going to go over the molded cups, so it's really not going to be as big of a deal which way it stretches. So. It's going to be pretty darn close.
There you go.
Okay.
That's the other
It's going to be the
part.
other one.
No,
Well,
this-
hold on, yeah.
The smaller one is the other one they need.
Okay.
Like that one. Oh. Can I throw this away?
Yep, you can throw that away.
I'm just making sure because we might need it.
Thank you for checking.
I like it that you sometimes use
What?
paper.
What do you mean I sometimes use paper?
You use paper, but then you throw it away. Like for what you did.
So, like, I'm not... How I recycled that paper?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
That's
Oops, I'm
kind
going to have to come over here because I can't get to this angle. And I don't want to move the fabric.
Then you would get it unlined.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. There's one piece. Can you go sit this over at the sewing machine?
I want my scraps.
Okay. Can you sit this over at the sewing machine? You don't get scraps yet.
Okay.
Okay, and then there's the bottom one that we're also going to do. So
This
with,
sewing machine or that?
actually we're going to do it at the overlock machine, so you're right.
The one that cuts.
Yep, the one that cuts.
Which I really like, and,
Yeah, it looks
and
like
that
this
means that
other one moved
scraps.
a bit.
Which I don't know where it is. Where's that baggie that had a knot in it? That's for that machine. That baggie.
What baggie, honey? I don't understand.
There is a baggie that has a knot, so then it can stay on that machine.
Oh, it probably got thrown away because it probably was on the floor and I picked up garbage. We'll just have to vacuum it up when we're done cutting.
No, I want
Yes.
to reuse it.
Well, honey, I don't know where the bags are. Okay?
I thought I had
If you can locate the bag.
I know where my...
My daughter likes to save all of my scraps and use them for stuffing inside stuffed animals and pillows. So, okay, so I got that. Hopefully the pattern didn't shift too much. I'm going to do this for the band also. Let's see. I probably want to restrict a little bit more, so this is probably a good direction for the band. Actually, we will do this one. Will that fit? It will. It will. That. I now need to do this one, but that is not enough to get the pattern repeating. So, okay. So you can see this is the one I did for my own bathing suit. Do it over here.
I'm trying to not.
Okay. Thank you, honey. So I'm going to have it come at an angle. Actually, I should be trying to match the pattern, but I'm not going to get that specific. And then I'm going to go grab my stabilizer and cut this and the bridge with the stabilizer. Okay, we got that. Okay, Emily, can you go grab that big piece of fabric that I just got that's over on the coffee table? Okay. Okay, we're gonna go across this way. The table next to where I sit on the couch. Okay, so we're going to take, and I can either, I'll just do this.
This?
No, the big piece of fabric that's sitting there, honey. Oh, yeah. Actually, I don't think I'm going to use the stabilizer on this one. No, I probably do. So that's just a small piece, but it is stretchy. I don't want the threads to pop. So this is one I can actually sew with the straight stitch because it will be stabilized. So I'm cutting 4 pieces of this out. And then we have this beautiful stabilizer. And I will be having this in a few weeks. So I actually will have a lot of this cup stabilizer, or even you can use it, it's the bra tool, so you can use it for a cup, basically to make a sheer cup. But this was a sample that I had received. But it's really pretty. I think I'm going to have it in a whole bunch of different colors too. So I'm excited. And actually, because it's stabilized, I can put whatever grain I want on this. Okay.
Then it fits. Yeah. Pulling the wrong thing.
Got that. Got this. So Do you need help making that knot? Oh, we almost forgot that. That's going to be in purple. So.
And I think I made the knot too.
You made it too big? Okay, I can fix it.
No.
Oops, we only need 2 on this one. So we just need a single layer on each side.
It'll just be a tight. No, perfect.
It's perfect.
It's just like the
Okay.
other one now.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for solving that problem.
Getting a new one, which was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Is this, are you gonna use this?
No, that's scrap for you.
Are you gonna use this?
Nope, that's scrap for you.
What other stuff is scrap for me?
Hmm.
There's that. Oh, that's something else.
Okay. So I've got those cut out. The last thing I need to cut out is this, and this will be in purple. So.
What are scraps?
Yes, there are scraps here.
Isn't that must be scrap?
Yes, that must be scrap.
You threw it on. Is that scrap?
Yes, that's scrap. I don't like wasting that much.
You're
We'll
like
do this. Okay.
wasting a lot.
Hmm?
Just like me, I don't like wasting a lot.
Yep, don't like wasting a lot. Okay.
I got more. Scrap.
I don't know. I think that is.
It's just.
Yeah, that's scrap. Thanks for watching. If you would like to have more content like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment below. Thank you very much.